Hello and welcome to another episode of Quick Bites, the show where we try to tackle all the restaurant headlines in as little time as possible. I'm Sam Oches, editor-in-chief of Nation's Restaurant News, joined by my colleague Jonathan Maze, editor-in-chief of Restaurant Business. Jonathan, it's spring, it's warmer out, and you are just all over the map recently.
Yeah, I've been in on both sides of the country over the past month. Was in New York last week, in fact, for Taco Bell, and I'm still full of tacos.
That's not a bad thing. I think that's the best kind of full you can possibly be. And we are going to start right there, Jonathan, because you were in New York for the Live Más Live event where Taco Bell had all kinds of announcements, including how many new menu items they are going to be rolling out in 2025. Hint, it's a lot. Jonathan, fill us in. What's going on with Taco Bell in 2025?
They are doubling their menu innovation this year. They are going to put out pretty much new menu items all the time, all year long. And my thought on this, Sam, is nobody can do this. I don't think anybody can do this certainly to the level of Taco Bell. Most companies, if they were to put out this many new menu items, they would run into sorts of problems with operations, with their franchisees. We do see a lot of menu innovation these days. Limited time offers have been basically hit records each of the past couple of years, so it's not exactly unusual. But they've just been so successful by coming out with just menu item after menu item after menu item after menu item, and they have a really good value proposition, and that combination really works for them, and it's why they're generating such strong sales even this year when nobody else is.
So true. And Jonathan, I think you hit the nail on the head when you said nobody else can do this but Taco Bell. I think they are a party of one in this industry when it comes to how much they innovate. They have license from their customers to come up with all kinds of new things. Now, that is, of course, a costly proposition, but for Taco Bell especially, this is their marketing. Their marketing is dependent on rolling out new items that customers want to come and try, and it is working. They said they project sales in their first quarter of 2025 will be up 8%. They think by 2030, they're going to be doing $3 million average unit volumes at Taco Bell, which is insane when you think about Taco Bell is the king of value. So they're checking every box. They're the value leader. They're the innovator leader. They're even making lots of money, increasing their profitability. And it's really interesting to see specifically what they're going to do with innovation, where they want to innovate specifically around fried chicken and beverages. They've already done that with the Live Más Cafe, this new test they have with beverages. Chicken, beverages, obviously these are things that are incredibly popular, increasingly popular around the country, and I think that's going to be relevant for the next thing we talk about too.
Yeah, right. Chicken and beverages. Everybody wants to do chicken and beverages, Sam, including McDonald's, which recently just announced another sort of reorganization type thing. They are creating a new teams around their specific menu items around the globe: beef, chicken, and beverages / desserts. Sam, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think this is fascinating. This restaurant experience team, it reminds me so much of Taco Bell, because one of the things they emphasized was how they want to bring ideas to market faster. And they've got to be looking at Taco Bell in this, right? Because Taco Bell is the king of this, which is just throwing stuff out there left and right. Usually it's a very cumbersome pace at which giant restaurant companies are moving. Taco Bell's proving they can be quick and respond to market demand quickly. So McDonald's wants to do that too. So this restaurant experience team designed to do that with operations. They have some teams designed to help with operational ideas. But to your point, Jonathan, they have teams dedicated to beef, chicken, and beverages / desserts. And I think that's fascinating, because what they're trying to get ahead of clearly is all of these specialists, these other emerging chains coming out and taking market share from the big chains. McDonald's doesn't want to just be the burger guys. They want to be the chicken guys, the beverage guys, the dessert guys. They want to be the meal occasion for all occasions, not just burgers. And so I think this is a good way to do that. Jonathan, do you think this approach is going to work?
I mean, I guess we'll see. This is the era of raising Cain, Sam. This is the era in which a chain can generate $6 million average unit volumes. $6 million as compared to $3 million for Taco Bell. Taco Bell's goal. And all they do is sell chicken fingers. So, their point is that they are competing against these specialists, and all they have to do is think about chicken all day. By the way, Chris Kempczinski mentioned KFC. Probably not the best example, although all they do all day is focus on chicken. But I mean, this is definitely the era of specialists, and there are some really, really specialized chicken chains. Raising Cane's, Dave's Hot Chicken, about to get $1 billion from More Capital, and the list goes on and on. But they also want to break into beverages, and as you know very well, drive-through beverages and beverage concepts are all the rage right now. And McDonald's, I think, probably going to go really, really big in its stores on beverages. So they probably have to do that, Sam.
It's interesting, you mentioned these drive-through beverage specialists, because those brands are also coming for Starbucks, and Starbucks is in the news. Jonathan, you just wrote this great story about how Starbucks announced at a shareholder meeting that they plan to go back to their roots and really invest in that third place Starbucks was famous for, in a time when Seven Brew, Dutch Bros, these drive-through coffee players are exploding. What do you make of Starbucks investing more in their coffee shops in this third place?
I think it's fantastic, actually. I am not going to lie. First off, the things that they're planning to do are things that I personally would like out of Starbucks. Number one, more outlets. More power outlets would be a godsend at Starbucks, frankly. But more separation between the mobile orders and the in-restaurant operation. They're going to make their espresso making into sort of a theater type thing. So they're going to be testing some things on that one. And it's really going back not only to where they were, but it's a complete reversal of where the industry is going. The industry has been all about less and less dining area. We're not going to focus on the dining area any as much anymore. Drive-through only concepts have been everywhere. More and more restaurant chains have been testing drive-through only locations, including McDonald's, including Jack in the Box, including Burger King, all of these companies. And Starbucks going the opposite direction is absolutely where we should go.
This is where I think I have to disagree here, Jonathan, because it's interesting. Look, I'm all for zigging where others zag, but at a time when real estate is really at a premium and where there is a lot of benefit to investing in the smaller box, Starbucks may have trouble trying to find bigger footprints where they can have that coffee house mentality. Right now, I mean, drive-throughs also at a premium, especially with Dutch Bros and Seven Brew coming up. But if you want to say, look at a bigger footprint, have some bigger space where you can have power outlets, have people come and work or do homework or whatever that might be, that could slow down their pace of growth. Now, look, I'm all about going back to the roots, and I am also all about that hospitality, but in the era of mobile ordering, the era of convenience, off premises, everybody driving everywhere and wanting things fast, you have to imagine that that's the experience from Starbucks they may still want to have. And it's really fascinating to see Brian Niccol go back to this when he essentially brought a model to Chipotle that was all about mobile ordering, drive-through, smaller footprints. And now at Starbucks, he's reinvesting in that bigger footprint. So I have to say I'm a little suspect that this is going to work, but we shall see. That is all for this episode of Quick Bites. Once again, I'm Sam Oches, Editor-in-Chief of Nation's Restaurant News. He's Jonathan Maze, Editor-in-Chief of Restaurant Business. You can get more at nrn.com and restaurantbusinessonline.com. Jonathan, thanks as always.
As always.